Welcome Stitchers to episode 2 of the Flosscast infographic series Embark on the Stitch Pal Journey, with me, Ollie, your trusty cross-stitch assistant. So let's deep dive into the world of Stitch Pal, starting with Aida templates. Embark on your cross-stitch journey with a vast selection of 300 plus Aida templates ready for you to explore and download. The handy Stitch Pal short name for Aida templates is STENCIL. What is Aida? The most commonly used fabric for cross-stitching, weaved evenly with holes in it to make your X, and usually 100% cotton. Aida templates can be found under the top level category, Stitch Pal, and then Aida templates as highlighted. How do you search for an Aida template? There are many ways to search for an Aida template. For example, starting with the Aida count. Here, you can select one or many options to filter down the templates. In this example, I have chosen 11 count and 14 count, which returns multiple pages totaling 76 template options. You can refine your search even further by selecting the orientation of either portrait or landscape. I have chosen portrait for this example, and as you can see, the templates have now been refined to 38 options. The last filters to refine your search are to apply the maximum number of stitches wide and high for your cross-stitch project. Here we end up with 10 template options. You can chop and change these settings as much as you like, and the options will be filtered in real time. For this example, I will stick with 14 count. I am now going to focus on the first two template options and delve deeper into the additional information. As you click into the first template, a side window appears where it shows the information I have already covered, along with the size of the fabric in imperial and metric, the margin allowance in imperial and metric, and the total number of stitches. Clicking on the second template, the main difference here is this template has a 1 inch or 2.54mm margin allowance, which automatically affects the maximum number of stitches wide and high, plus the total number of stitches. Within the side window, you can click on the template PDF and download by either clicking the download button located at the top or the bottom of the screen. Lastly, from Aida templates, you can navigate to the fabric needle ply conversion page by clicking the button at the top of the screen. Feel free to consider this information as a helpful reference. Stitch with the materials that suit your comfort level and achieve the desired aesthetic for your design. If, for example, you want to see just the recommended Aida for 2 strands of floss on light fabrics, then click the relevant Go to Aida search button. This will take you back to Aida templates with the filters already applied to get you started on your cross-stitching journey. Stage 2 is all about searching. Discover your ideal floss from a selection of over 3,000 plus products with multiple search dimensions including RGB, Floss Number, Colour Keyword, Floss Type, and Floss Family. Easily add your chosen floss directly to your stash for effortless organisation. The handy Stitch Pal short name for either the RGB Search All brands or brand specific search is Search. Let's start with the RGB Search All brands, which can be found under the top level category Stitch Pal and then RGB Search All brands as highlighted. Before explaining this section, I must emphasise that all threads are matched to RGB with every effort being made to faithfully reproduce the colours. Different screens may show slightly different results. There are over 16 million RGB combinations, so we at Stitch Pal have created a method to match the closest floss number. To do this, all you need to do is input the red, green and blue values. This first example is taken from the image shown at the top right of the screen. This instantly looks at all the floss databases stored and chooses the closest solid colour floss to return. At this level, we can see information about the floss such as the floss number, floss name and floss family. Let's reset the values and try another example again using the image shown in the top right hand of the screen. Searching from the RGB search all brands only returns solid colour floss and ignores any speciality thread from these brands such as metallics. Let's reset the values once more and try one last example again using the image shown in the top right of the screen. You may have a particular brand in mind you would like to use, so let us explore these brands and searches in more detail. I will start with Anchor, which can be found under the top level category STENCIL and then Anchor Search as highlighted. You can search by the floss number if you already know it, like in this example 150. You can also get a range of floss colours by using one of the many keywords stored, for example Delft Blue. Let's try another floss number 1074 and then a keyword search of sea green. Again, you get a wider range of floss colours to choose from. You can also search by the floss type, which will vary by brand, and in the case of Anchor here, we can search metallics, variegated or neon. DMC is the next brand and can be found under the top level category STENCIL and then DMC search as highlighted. You can search by the floss number if you already know it, like in this example 666. Searching in the brand tables will return speciality threads as well, like in this example Etoli and satin. You can also get a range of floss colours by using one of the many keywords stored, for example red. You can see here as well that speciality threads are returned in the search Etoli and light effects. You can also search by the floss type, which will vary by brand, and in this case we could search variegated or Etoli floss to show a few of the types on offer. All of the other brands have the exact same search filters. The only difference is in the floss types, where all brands have mulline stranded. Lessian additionally has Nishikito, which is their metallic range of floss, and Seasons, which is their variegated range of floss. Madeira and Presentia Finica have metallic and variegated as additional, whereas Sullivan's has metallic option of floss. If we go back to DMC search, I can show you the difference between brand specific RGB search and the RGB search all brands. Using the example from earlier, 666, you can see that the brand search returns the entire floss database in relevancy to the search, whereas the RGB search all brands just returns the top matching solid floss colour from each brand. But how do you add a floss colour to your stash? Simply click on a floss colour. I will use the same example here, 666. A side window will appear and you should click the Add to My Stash button. You will know when it has been added, as your name will appear under Already in My Stash. The last thing to note is that there are navigation buttons at the top of the screen to go to the floss composition, the brand shade chart and My Stash. To wrap this part up, I am going to show you how effortless it is to search for all of these colours in this project and add them to my stash. Stage 3 is all about your stash. Dive deep into your organised stash, categorised by brand, then floss type, then floss number. With just one click, effortlessly update your quantities or remove items from your stash. The handy STENCIL shortening for my stash is stash. My stash can be found under the top level category STENCIL and then stash as highlighted. My stash is organised firstly by the brand. Brands will only appear if you have one or more products in your stash. The count to the right of the brand name shows how many products you have within that brand. Let's open up Anchor. As you can see, we have another level, the floss type, where we have metallic and mulline stranded floss. Again, we can see the count for this level to the right of the floss type name. I have opened DMC and we can see the floss types. Opening further, we can see the floss colours and information such as floss number, floss name, a floss swatch, and the stock. Now let's try searching for a floss number using the filter at the top of the screen. In this example, I will use 3766. Let's reset the filter and try another floss number, this time 995. Searching this way will help you quickly find and navigate to your desired floss colour. When searching for a floss number, you may return more than one product. This would happen if you are using multiple brands, as brands can share the same floss number, but are not the same floss colour, as with this example 820. How is stock updated? We return to floss number 3766 and update the stock. By default, the stock will be set to 0. Click on the expand button. A side window appears. Here you can select your stock from 0 to 10 at 0.5 increments. I have chosen 3 for this example. The stock is automatically applied to your stash. How can floss colours be removed from the stash? Let us use example 820 again. Click on the Lessian 820 floss number. A side window appears. Here, click the Remove from My Stash button. A red X will signal the removal of the floss colour from your stash. From your stash, you can navigate to projects by using the Go to Projects button at the top of the screen. Using the project example from earlier, I will now show updating all the floss colours with stock in my stash. Stage 4 is all about your projects. Store all your creative projects seamlessly, linking them to your stash, Aida templates, and the specific stitches, methods, knots used. Effortlessly keep track of your project timelines with our integrated calendar feature. And when you're ready, with just one click, launch your project into S.P.A.C.E for other stitching enthusiasts to admire your creativity. The handy STENCIL short name for projects is STORE. Projects can be found under the top level category, STENCIL, and then projects as highlighted. The projects page is split into 3 tabs: all projects, active projects, and completed projects. At its top level, each project displays the project name, the album the project is stored under, and the start end dates. It's simple to add a project. Just click on the Add Project button located at the top of the screen, and a form will appear. Here, you can add the project name, in this example, JL Digital Studios logo. There are hundreds of albums to choose from that the project can sit under. For this example, I will use the album name, Brands. As you click on Browse, you will see there are many ways to add a project image from the tabs on the left of the pop-up window. For this example, I will stick to uploading an image from a folder on my desktop, JL Digital Studios logo, rgb.png. Lastly, I will add a start date of 14th of November 2023 and an end date of 21st of November 2023 and then click Create. The project will now appear under All Projects and Active Projects. Let's make some changes and remove the word logo from the project name. I will also change the start date from the 14th of November to the 15th of November. In the bottom of the cover image, there is a button to remove the attachment and I will upload a different version. Again, for this example, I will use the same method and upload from a folder on my desktop, and most image formats are supported. Any change you make in the side window will immediately affect what you see on the page, if that information is displayed. I will revert the image back to how it was. Using the same method, I will also upload a project pattern. You can also set the number of copies for this project, which is defaulted at 1, and whether the project is active or completed. Further down the side window, you can also set the template used to initially design your project. These are all pulled from the Aida templates page. Let's search for 11 count and choose a template roughly A3 in size, which is what I required to make this project. I will also choose which stitches, methods, knots are used in my project. These are all pulled from the proficiency level lessons page. I would suspect that most often the choice will be full stitch. But with this field you can add as many lessons as required that make up your project by clicking again on the Add Lesson button. Now we will learn how to add floss colours to a project. Further down the side window, you can start linking colours from your stash to a project. I will search for 3799 and click on it to link to the project. For the purpose of this example, I will assume I already know how many skeins are required for this floss colour. Here you can select your skeins required from 0 to 10 at 0.5 increments. I have chosen 3 for this example. Notice the red cross to the right. This indicates for this floss colour the number of skeins is more than what's in my stash. The purpose of this check is for the automated shopping list later on. I will add another floss colour, this time 169, and only one skein is required. Notice the green tick to the right. This indicates that for this floss colour the number of skeins required is less than in my stash. One last example, 318, and skeins required is 1. Notice the green tick to the right. This indicates that for this floss colour the number of skeins required is equal to my stash. When linking floss colours from your stash to your project, you can link a maximum of 25 floss colours per project. I will now show you how to move projects between the Active Projects and Completed Projects tab. Currently, my project is sat in Active Projects. Click on it and click on the Completed button. Now you will see that my project is no longer in Active Projects, but in Completed Projects. By default, your projects are stored in the order they have been created, but you can reorder by the project name, the album, and the dates. The search panel can be used for either a project name or an album name. You can switch between gallery and calendar views by using the navigation button between the sort and search buttons. In the calendar view, all of your projects are listed down the right hand side of the screen. The tabs along the top work in the exact same way as the gallery view. You can quickly change the start or end date of a project by dragging the project to another date. The change also appears in the list on the right hand side of the screen. As with the gallery view, you can click on a project to edit any information required. To delete a project, click on your project and at the top of the screen, click the Delete Project button. A warning will appear just to confirm that you wish to delete the project, as once deleted, you can no longer access it on StitchPal. There are handy navigation buttons at the top of the screen that link to the Skein Estimator, S.P.A.C.E, and shopping list, all of which I will explore later on. To wrap this section up, I will use the project example from the previous stages. I will now show creating this project and linking all the information to it as shown. Stage 5 is all about skein estimations. Get skein estimations using a variety of metrics including Aida count, number of strands and number of stitches. Scale up your projects effortlessly with the number of copies feature. Easily map the results back to your active projects directly on the page for seamless project planning and execution. The handy STENCIL shortening for Skein Estimator is SUM. The Skein Estimator can be found under the top level category, STENCIL, and then Skein Estimator as highlighted. Before explaining this section, I must emphasise the Skein Estimator is based on all floss being 8 metres in length and 6 strands, and that the Danish method has been used for this estimator. To get a skein estimation, you'll need 4 pieces of information about your project: the Aida count, the number of strands, the number of stitches, and the number of copies. The Aida counts you can choose are 7, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 18 or 20. The number of strands you can choose are 1, 2, 3 or 4. The number of stitches and the number of copies can be any whole number. Let's do an example and choose 11 as the Aida count and 3 as the number of strands. Just to note, I am referencing the fabric needle ply conversion table as shown. Also, let's input the number of stitches as 3600 and the number of copies as 1. Why are there 2 different results? The estimation will give an actual result and a purchase result, as you cannot purchase a fraction of a skein. I will change the Aida count to 14 and the number of strands to 2. The Skein Estimator calculates in real time as you make changes. One last example. I will change the Aida count to 20 and the number of strands to 1. I will now use the project JL Digital Studios logo and set the Aida count back to 11 and the number of strands back to 3. Any active projects are shown in the list below, so you can easily open up a project, navigate to the floss colours and add the estimation directly to the required floss colour. You can leave the side window open as you interact with the Skein Estimator, making it as easy as possible to add the values to the floss colours. To wrap this section up, I will add all the values as shown to the project's example used earlier. Stage 6 is all about the shopping list. Swiftly determine if you have any missing floss for your active projects. streamline your active projects and stash them into an automated shopping list that can be conveniently sent to your email, ensuring you never run out of supplies for your creative endeavours. The handy STENCIL short name for a shopping list is Shop. The shopping list can be found under the top level category STENCIL and then Shopping List as highlighted. There are two ways to navigate to the shopping list, either by clicking the Go to Shopping List button at the top of the screen on the Skein Estimator page or on the Projects page. What do the green and red bars indicate? The green bar indicates that an active project requires no shopping as all Floss colours are available in your stash. This is shown in the first example by clicking into the project to display the list. The red bar indicates that an active project requires shopping, as some of the Floss colours in your stash do not have enough stock for the project. This is again shown in the second example by clicking into the project to display the list. In the case that you are missing some floss, you can email the shopping list by clicking the Email Shopping List button at the top of the screen. Go to your mail provider and in the email you will see all the details about the floss for the project. To wrap this section up, I will use the project from the previous stages to see what floss I would need to purchase. The final stage is all about S.P.A.C.E. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Launch your project into S.P.A.C.E, stitch projects and community exchange, and share your stitching creativity with fellow STENCIL users. Receive an instant PDF report of your stitching project from S.P.A.C.E, making it easier than ever to showcase your work and connect with the stitching community. The handy STENCIL short name for S.P.A.C.E is Share. What is S.P.A.C.E? S.P.A.C.E, or Stitch Projects and Community Exchange, is a vibrant hub for cross-stitch enthusiasts to share, connect and collaborate. Where is S.P.A.C.E? S.P.A.C.E is just a click away within the STENCIL app. Simply navigate to STENCIL, then S.P.A.C.E to explore this thriving cross-stitch community. Why use S.P.A.C.E? S.P.A.C.E offers a fantastic platform for sharing your cross-stitch projects with a community of fellow creatives who share your passion. Who is S.P.A.C.E for? S.P.A.C.E is tailored for individuals who have a genuine passion for cross-stitching and are registered users of the STENCIL app. Let's start by sharing the JL Digital Studios logo project to S.P.A.C.E. Click on the project and navigate down to the space area. As you can see, this project is not in S.P.A.C.E. Click the Share to S.P.A.C.E button. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Your project has launched into S.P.A.C.E. Before we continue, here is a brief Ollie presentation. S.P.A.C.E is all about storing your project in STENCIL and sharing with the community. Let us now go to S.P.A.C.E by clicking the Go to S.P.A.C.E button at the top of the screen. Welcome to S.P.A.C.E, where the threads of our community intertwine and create something truly extraordinary. Greetings, fellow cross-stitch enthusiasts, and welcome to our vibrant community of creativity and inspiration. We're thrilled to have you join us in this wonderful world of stitching. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting your cross-stitching journey, S.P.A.C.E is the perfect place to connect, share, and exchange your projects with like-minded individuals. Down the left-hand side of the screen are all the wonderful projects shared by StitchPal users. There are 3 ways to search for a project in S.P.A.C.E. First, by the album the project is stored under. Second, by the project name. And lastly, by the creator of the project. How do I navigate S.P.A.C.E? Using the JL Digital Studios logo project, I will now explore the shared content. You will see that the project name, the album, and the creator of the project are shown first. Next is the project pattern, if one has been added, and the project book and date created, both of which I will return to shortly. In the next section, you can click on the floss used and see all of the floss colour and information, including the required number of skeins. Any stitches, methods, knots used from the proficiency level lessons are shown here, as well as a detailed explanation of each lesson. Comments can also be added against a project for other StitchPal users to see. Let us now return to the project book. What is a project book? A project book brings together all of the information about the project in a handy booklet that can be viewed in the StitchPal app or downloaded as a PDF to use offline. The pages can vary depending on the project, but there will always be an introduction page about the project. Then either 1 or 2 pages listing all of the floss colours used as well as the required skeins. Then there can be 1 or many pages depending on how many proficiency level lessons have been used in the project. To wrap this section up, I will share the project from the previous stages and show how to navigate S.P.A.C.E. Let's now end with a review of this episode. STENCIL within StitchPal offers over 300 plus Aida templates for cross-stitching. These templates allow users to filter by count, orientation, and stitch dimensions for personalised selections in real time. Detailed exploration of templates reveals fabric size, margin allowance, and stitch count in both imperial and metric units. Each template's unique features, including margin allowances affecting stitch dimensions, are outlined in a side window. Users can download template PDFs and navigate related conversion pages. Click and Go to Aida Search provides specific recommendations, streamlining material selection for cross-stitch projects within Aida templates. Search within StitchPal facilitates discovering threads among 3,000 plus products through various search dimensions like RGB, Floss Number, Colour Keyword, Type, and Family. Utilising RGB search all brands, users match threads to RGB values, accessing solid coloured threads from multiple databases. The method finds the closest thread based on 16 million RGB combinations. Brand-specific searches like Anchor or DMC offer specific threads, including metallics or variegated options, accessible via thread numbers, keywords, or types. Each brand's search filters differ in available thread types. For instance, Lessian features Nishikito metallic and Seasons variegated. A distinction between brand-specific RGB search and RGB search all brands is evident in the returned results. Users can add chosen thread colours to their stash and access additional features like thread composition, brand shade charts, and S.T.A.C.E via navigational ones. S.T.A.C.E within StitchPal provides an organised inventory categorised by brand, then thread type, then thread number, allowing users to update quantities or remove items with ease. My S.T.A.C.E displays brands and respective product counts, followed by thread types and individual colours. Users can explore detailed information like thread number, name, swatch, and stock within each thread type. The filtering option facilitates quick searches by thread number, enabling easy navigation to desired colours. Multiple brands may share the same thread number, requiring careful selection. Updating stock involves expanding details for a specific thread number and choosing the desired quantity from 0 to 10 in 0.5 increments. Removing thread colours from the S.T.A.C.E is simple via a side window and the Remove from My S.T.A.C.E button. Additionally, users can navigate to projects from My S.T.A.C.E using the Go to Projects button at the top of the screen. Store within StitchPal organises creative projects, connecting them to stashes, Aida templates and specific stitches, methods, knots. Divided into tabs for all, active and completed projects, it displays project details and durations. Adding involves naming, selecting an album and attaching images with editing options for information and cover images. Users link templates, stitches and thread colours to their S.T.A.C.E, indicating quantities with colour-coded availability. Moving between tabs is straightforward. Projects can be stored, searched and viewed in gallery or calendar formats with drag and drop calendar functionality for timeline adjustments. Deletion triggers a confirmation warning, while navigation buttons access Skein Estimator, S.P.A.C.E and shopping list features within StitchPal. Some within StitchPal calculate skein estimations based on Aida count, strands, stitches and project copies. Operating with an 8 metre length and 6 strands for all threads, it employs the Danish method. Users input Aida counts ranging from 7 to 20, strands from 1 to 4, and whole numbers for stitches and copies. Estimations consider actual and purchasable skein outcomes, with live updates as parameters adjust. Directly linking estimations to active projects streamlines the addition of values to required thread colours within the project interface. Shop within StitchPal manages missing threads for active projects through an automated shopping list, accessible from the Skein Estimator or projects page. Green bars indicate projects with all required thread available in the S.T.A.C.E, while red bars signify insufficient thread stock, necessitating shopping. Detailed lists of needed thread colours are available by clicking into a project. Users can conveniently email the shopping list, receiving comprehensive details about required thread for the project directly in their email. Share, known as S.P.A.C.E, Stitch Projects and Community Exchange within StitchPal, offers a platform for users to share and connect over cross-stitch projects. Accessible within the app, S.P.A.C.E serves as a vibrant hub for enthusiasts to exchange creativity. Users can share projects, connect with a community of like-minded creators, and receive instant PDF reports of their shared projects. S.P.A.C.E is designed for registered StitchPal users passionate about cross-stitching. The interface allows users to explore shared projects by album, name, or creator, offering detailed information on project patterns, thread colours, proficiency lessons used, and an option to add comments. Additionally, projects can be compiled into a project book, featuring project details viewable within the app, or downloadable as a PDF for offline use. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, stitch with a smile.